Hey guys, it's your boy Sam Wills again. I got rid of my other videos because I think this video would be best so that we can start from here. Many of the questions that I asked in the beginning 3 videos have been answered, probably 3 of the 8. So I'll focus on the 5 remaining in this video. So let's go into it right away because I don't want to hold y'all long and make this into something that is not. So anybody who saw the video yesterday of the pictures, anybody who actually saw the pictures, if you were not totally perturbed, disturbed, felt sick to your stomach, then something I think is wrong with you in your head, honestly. Because that young lady looked like she had been abused, sexually abused. Her breasts were out, her pants were partially down. She was not in a pose where someone would have been if they were trying to not freeze to death. Why was her shoe off in a freezer? These are questions that have to be answered, and obviously I'm not the person that can answer them, but I'm just posing questions. What we need to do, and what my first suggestion is the fight to get the FBI involved is very, very important, because the FBI will come in and look at this case from a different set of eyes. They'll look at this case from a set of eyes who are not part of Cook County government, who are not, who don't know the secrets of Cook County, whether it be something going on in Cook County. They're going to come in and do an investigation looking at Kenneka and not Cook County and trying to look out for others. We need them to come in and get the process going. One, because of the manner in which this girl was found. They need to verify that her civil rights were not violated in any manner by her ending up in that freezer. Maybe she was murdered and put in the freezer. Whatever happened, that young lady did not just accidentally get stuck in a freezer. Anybody looking at those pictures can see that, absolutely. You don't take down your own pants and you're in a freezer. You don't take off your shoes in a freezer. Why would you not be cowering in a position for warmth in a freezer? Why is there blood on the floor in the freezer? Why is there loose objects on the floor in the freezer? And then the biggest question to that is the FBI will be able to come in and do another autopsy. And the autopsy can find out specifically organ situations that people keep asking. Because even if your organs are no longer in your body after burial, which they probably are not, they've been donated, they've been whatever, they can tell you if they were there at the time of death. And that is very important because somebody needs to verify that information because people have questions. Her toxicity level, they already know, and then we're moving on to that now. So the FBI is very important in this situation. As far as the toxicity in her blood and her blood alcohol that was causing her the distortion, walking crazy, the drug that they said that she had in her system was a epileptic seizure relief drug, or a drug to help people who have epilepsy deal with seizures. It's also a drug that helps aid in heavy migraines. When asked about this particular drug, family said Kenneka didn't suffer from seizures or migraines. So where did this drug come in? And it is a prescribed drug. So was this drug introduced when they were messing around with Kenneka's drinks? If so, are we going to re-interview the people who had control of the drinks? Are we going to check them for their prescription lists to see if they have access to that drug, that epileptic drug? Because if they do, then we can kind of narrow down how this got started and who we need to look at. We're on to the third thing, that's 2. We've talked about the FBI's involvement that needs to be, we talked about with that there needs to be a secondary autopsy to verify, re-verify what the first coroner says that they supposedly found. But you do have to remember that the police said that it was an accidental death, and it was all good with everybody, sort of, until they showed the pictures yesterday. And everybody's like, no, fuck that. No, this is not no accident. You don't pull your own panties down or pants down. You don't let your titties out when you're about to freeze to death. You don't be in a defensive position with blood on the floor, with small articles around the room, probably from being thrown or moved while you're fighting for your life. That's what it looks like to me. So the FBI definitely needs to be involved. An autopsy, a second autopsy by a different coroner other than the one who did the first one outside of Cook County. So they need to exhume Kenneka. They need to take her out of Cook County to another coroner who is not on the city's payroll. Third one is we need to find out where that is. I believe it was topiramate was the name of the drug. We need to find out how and when that was introduced so that it got into Kenneka's system, because that is basically probably what had her walking distorted and crazy looking in the videos that we saw. Now, cut a couple of things out from my previous videos. We understand that there are no cameras on the 9th floor or any floor other than the main floor in the basement. There are no cameras on the elevators. Those were questions I asked. I'm cutting those out. What I do want to know is, and thank goodness for the one brother who went in and did the walk around of the kitchen and the freezer, even though your video was really shaky and we couldn't really see it too well, somebody at least did go in and do one. But we need someone to go in physically and look around with your camera and see where strategic cameras are placed and what the angles of those cameras are in the vicinity of the area of where Kenneka was killed or murdered or accidentally froze to death, depending upon whose story you'll believe. That is vital to this case, because if there are cameras and they're not working, then we need to find out why, when, how. Because if there's a reason why they weren't working, or they just weren't working that night, or whatever the case is, that can be checked into. If there are cameras there and they weren't on that night for some reason, that can be checked into. You know what I'm saying? So this is information that can be looked into. If y'all notice, I'm not showing y'all a whole bunch of videos. It's not no shadows. It's not none. I'm not talking about her mom. I'm not talking about the Illuminati theories, because I'm sticking straight to facts. The facts say that they found a young lady who came to a party, never made it home, in a freezer. Her mother couldn't see her the night that she wasn't being able to be seen. Now it looks like it's a major cover-up. Those are the facts. All that other stuff is people's speculation, other things, until somebody comes out of their mouth and we find out specifically that those other things exist. I'm staying with the theory of exactly what I've been told and saw, and I'm going to break this down. Every time I see a new point, I'm going to bring it to y'all so we can analyze it and get it together. So we've made some very valid points at the beginning of this. We definitely need to continue pushing for proper information to be sent up the chain on YouTube and other places. Cut out that BS, man, with these videos with y'all arguing back and forth about who good, who bad, who info sucks. Who cares? It does not matter. This young lady is dead. It could be other young ladies in trouble. Other black sisters in this community could be in trouble. They could be the next one that could come to this hotel or another hotel, and this happen again. We have to get this corrected. This has a lot to do with more than just Kenneka. I'm sure it does, because this is not just happenstance. This did not happen by mistake. Whoever did this is working methodically. Somebody had a plan. This is all being worked out for all of this. And we are basically, the only thing that's keeping us alive is the people on YouTube asking questions. Because basically the police have closed their case and said that she locked herself in the freezer. I guess she beat herself up and fondled herself before she passed away. That's the way they're making it seem. But we not stupid. If this was another type of young lady that was found in the freezer, all hell would have broke loose at that hotel. And that hotel would have been shut down, properly checked out. Every organization in the city would have been there, and they would have had an answer by now. But because this sister is African American, we are having to deal with this from people being sleuths outside of Chicago and inside of Chicago to try to help solve the murder of one of our own people. And it's a shame. You can look at those pictures and see this is not no accident. And we are not going to rest until we get some answers. So I'm not hiding my face. You see me very well. Everything I find out, I'm coming to y'all with. Let's be grown up about this. Let's pass information to each other. Let's help this situation. Let's help her mother get some justice. Let's help get Kenneka some peace so that she can rest in peace in this situation. Stop posting stupid stuff, man. If you're not sure, if you have a speculation and you think it's whatever, then put it somewhere else, man. Like, you know, go research that to the fullest. Don't just keep putting up rumors and speculation and stuff like that, because all you're doing is feeding into what they want you to feed in, so you stay away from the truth. I've given you points that are valid, that we can look at, put tangible hands on those clues and aspects, and find out what happened to this young lady. Finally, before I go, and this is my last point, we still have to verify what Kenneka was talking about. Go watch a video called Kenneka Left Us Clues. The video is, again, called Kenneka Left Us Clues. Go watch the video in full. All of it is not about what I'm talking about, but if you watch the video, with some very tying things to what we're talking about. During the video, there's a key element where Kenneka is talking about not necessarily doing hotel licks, but she said, you know, we got these she's like, in her own words, because she talks a little bit with the Chicago drawl, so it's hard to get every word, but it's like, you know, we got these hotel licks. And then she was talking about the licks or whatever. She didn't really say too much about what it was. But then she said it was an issue with somebody who was a part of the hotel lick. She was like, if she got a problem, tell her to hit me up. Now, who are you talking about? And if this hotel lick is the reason why Kenneka is no longer here, then maybe we need to figure out who that young lady was that she was talking about in the video, right? The second part of that conversation, Kenneka talks about the 6th of the month, which passed, and her birthday, and being put up and being put away until her birthday, which I thought was very strange in the way that she was speaking. It was like she was speaking, you know, metaphysically, like, you know, in metaphors and similes, like, you know, not necessarily what I'm saying, but this is what I'm saying. Kind of strange, but go to that video. It will reveal a lot of things to you. We need to find out who that girl is she was talking about in that live video. We need to find out what the hotel lick was that she talking about, because obviously it's something going on where somebody was coming up from something at the hotel and somebody didn't agree with it. And maybe that person is who set Kenneka up. Maybe that person is who put her on or got her set up. Or maybe that's who did the murder or left her in the freezer. We don't know. Last but not least, I did not bring this point up before. I need to bring it up now. We need to do research on these hotels in the city of Chicago, specifically in the area near O'Hare Airport. If you go do research, you will find that there is a lot of claims, a lot of arrests, a lot of stories about sex trafficking. I'm not saying that's what this involves. I don't know this young lady personally. I don't know her life, but I'm saying to y'all, it's a lot of things that could have happened, could have went on, and we need to be thorough in finding out what that is. Look at what's in front of you. Stop letting them put videos in front of you to chop up all day. They're using your eyes to blind your mind. Look at the evidence that you have in front of you, that you physically have. I've given you 5 or 6 new points to look at. Specific points, not speculation, not the Illuminati crap, not her mom sacrificed her, not, I didn't even go into sex trafficking. I put that out there for people who may want to look into that part of it. But it could be an aspect, because this is a common problem if you look it up in that area. A very common problem. Kenneka was not an ugly girl. You don't know. What was the hotel lick that she was talking about? Why was this girl mad about the hotel lick? Did they ever come to a conclusion about why she was mad about the hotel lick when they found out what it was? Did we put all the effort that we could put into getting the FBI involved to get them to do a civil rights investigation for Kenneka? Other than that, we need to verify where this drug entered into the mix that was in Kenneka's system, and she's not epileptic, nor did she suffer from migraine. So I'm giving y'all, and most of all, we have to find out why there's no video in front of that freezer. And if there is a video, we need to see it. And if there's a real video, supposedly, of her going in the freezer by herself, then we need to see that video too and make sure it hasn't been doctored and altered. And why now would it be coming out? They done had time to play around with stuff. And just keep your eyes open, people. I promise y'all, if you respect me, I'm going to respect y'all. If y'all see something I might have missed, tell me. I keep looking into stuff. I do my own research. I don't live in Chicago, so I depend on people in Chicago that know stuff about this particular area to tell me, and then I can go and research on my own and try to research, skip trace, do things like that to try to come up with answers to help this family get some peace and to help this young lady's name be cleared so that she can rest in peace. And that's the whole process. We don't know we don't know what happened to this girl. We're being disrespectful by slandering her name. And until we find out what actually happened, we should be quiet. And we should work on trying to find out what happened. And then if it comes to find that something foul happened, we need to deal with that. Her name should be exonerated if she did nothing wrong. Her name should be, kept in a certain light if it was not her fault. And right now her family is being drugged through the mud. It's just not good if this is not proven to be that it was her fault. I'll holler at y'all. Please hit me up. Support, log in, whatever. I don't get paid for these videos, so this is all me just in my sleuth mind. Don't let them fool you with no more videos for your eyes. Use your mind, use your ears. I'll holler.